Hi everyone! In this video, we will talk about perimeter of composite figures. Just a review, perimeter is the shortest distance around the shape. We get the perimeter by adding all the sides of a shape or a figure. And then, composite figures are figures that are made up of two or more shapes. In this particular video, we will talk about composite figures that are made up of squares and rectangles only. So let's start with our first problem. Find the perimeter of the piece of land shown below. So since we are just going to add all sides for a composite figure, we have to find the missing sides first. And to make it easier, we make use of the tick marks because that's already an obvious clue of what the length of the sides are. So for the tick mark, we see here that this side has the same tick mark as these two other sides. So that would mean that these are also 2 meters. Okay. And then after that, we also have to find one last missing side, which is this one that I will highlight with green. Okay. To get that missing side, we can take a look at the other sides on the opposite, okay, opposite part of it. So here, I know if that green line there is moved towards the other side, okay, which is this one, I know that it's the same length as these two red lines combined together. So just imagine this red line being moved towards that green line. You would actually have the same length. Okay, so with that, I know that the green line on the right side is actually the sum of these two 2 meters. So with that in mind, this line here, the green line, is actually 4 meters in length. So we already have the whole or all the sides. So we will just be adding all of it. So a tip for getting the perimeter of a composite figure, it would help if you would be putting marks on those sides that you already included in your addition sentence so that you won't miss any side and or you will not be missing or adding two sides twice. Okay, so let's have that. The perimeter would be 7 meters plus 4 meters plus 2 meters plus another 2 meters plus 5 meters plus 2 meters. So with that, I've already crossed out all the sides. I can now get the perimeter of this figure by just adding all of these. So 7 plus 4 is 11 plus 2 15 plus 5 20 plus 2 22. So the perimeter is 22 meters. Okay. Another way to get the perimeter of this composite figure is imagining it as a whole rectangle. And that actually is like what I did earlier, wherein I tried to move one side. Okay, I tried to move the 2 meters, the 2 meters, and make it one whole rectangle. So let's try to visualize that. This side is actually the same size, same length as these 2 meters and 5 meters combined, right? And then this one here, the blue line, would actually be the same length as this line. So what did I do? I just actually moved this line. I tried moving it towards this side. This red line, I moved it towards this side. In that way, I have one whole rectangle. Okay? And easier for us to get the perimeter of a rectangle because it's just two sevens, right? The two red lines are the two sevens, and then the two blue lines are the two fours. So 7 plus 4 times 2. And that would actually be 11 times 2. Again, that's 22 meters. So there you have it, two ways of solving for the perimeter of this piece of land. So let's now have this problem. John has a garden, as shown in the figure. He wants to put up a fence around it. What will be the length of the fencing materials? So since we're looking for the length of the fencing materials, we are talking about the perimeter. So for this particular question, the method that we did earlier, moving the sides to make it a whole rectangle, wouldn't actually be possible. Why is that so? Because if I move this side, it will be overlapping with this side and this side. And for perimeter, all the sides that are exposed should be accounted for. So maybe finding all the missing sides and looking for the perimeter would work here. Okay? But then again, we wouldn't be finding each of the sides, but rather we would look at it as a whole. What do I mean by that? For example, this side right here, okay, there's no specific marking that would tell us what specific length of these two sides are. But then we know that the sum of these three sides, okay, is the same as this whole length altogether. Okay, so with that, I know that the side at the bottom, all these three sides combined together would give me 6 meters. Okay, so that's including the 3 meters already. So from here up until this side, that's 6 meters. Okay, and then this side here, which I will color blue, is the same length as this side. Okay, so that would also be 5 meters. All right, are we missing any sides? Okay, we have to also include these two sides here, okay, which are actually the same. They are both 1 meter. Right? So with that, we can now start adding all the sides to get the perimeter. So the perimeter of this figure would be 6 meters plus 5 meters plus the whole thing here, 1 2 3, is again 6 meters, and then the two green sides, plus 1, so plus 1, and then lastly this side, plus 5. So again, make sure that all the sides are accounted for before you start adding. Now I have here 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 6 is 17, 18, 19 plus 5, 24. Okay, so that would be it for this problem. Of course, there are the other ways. If you don't want to add and add and add, you can also multiply, like 6 times 2 plus 5 times 2 plus 1 times 2. Okay, and you would still get the same answer of 24 meters. So that's it. I hope this video was able to give you more practice on perimeter of composite figures.